Hey guys, so I have been getting some messages about coffee, what I put in my coffee, how I drink it black, and things like that. So I really just wanted to make a quick video because it's way easier than you guys reading a whole long post and help you out just a little bit. So a little background on my coffee story. I was drinking a lot of coffee when I started this, my journey in general. And I put in a lot of creamer, like a whole bottle of creamer. Just kidding. But I did put in a lot. I went through 2 huge bottles twice a week. So I was going to the store twice a week, or when I would go grocery shopping, I would buy 2 huge bottles of creamer. And they would be gone. By the next week, I'd have to do it all over again. And that was something I did because I didn't like the taste of black coffee. I liked having the flavor, and quite honestly, I was drinking coffee with my creamer, not creamer with my coffee. So the first thing I did to kind of step myself down from drinking as much creamer is I would actually measure out my creamer. If you look on the back of your creamer bottle, if you're drinking flavored creamer, you'll see that it is 35 calories per tablespoon. And International Delight, Walmart, whoever, they measure out that there's about 68 servings in that big bottle. But if you're not measuring and you're just pouring, you're not actually getting 68 cups of coffee worth of creamer or anything like that. So the first thing I did was I started measuring how much creamer I was putting in my coffee. I actually took out a tablespoon and I said, I'm going to allow myself 2 tablespoons of creamer, no more. So I would measure it out and pour it in. That was the first thing I did. And I did that for a few months actually, and it was something that worked for me. I didn't have a lot of creamer and stuff like that, so that helped me a lot. I stepped it down because I knew I was putting in way too much sugar in my body. I was having way too many calories in my diet from it. At the time, I tracked with MyFitnessPal, and I was like, oh my gosh, all of my calories were going to creamer. I mean, realistically. And before I started measuring out the tablespoons I was putting in, I have no clue how much creamer I was just dumping in my coffee. So that was the first thing I did. Then I decided that I was going to look for alternatives to creamer that I could use and that would really help me out. So my friend Becca, who I absolutely love, I consider her like an amateur nutritionist, really helped me out with this. I messaged her one day and she told me about this thing called a bulletproof coffee. If you've never heard of it, check my blog, ninacarson.blogspot.com, and I have a whole blog about bulletproof coffee. But here is what I did. I kind of modified the bulletproof and I started putting coconut oil in my coffee. I had heard of a couple different people doing this, and it was something that I figured, why not? I'll give it a try. If it doesn't work, I don't have to do it. So I measured out 1 tablespoon of this, and I would put it in a blender cup. I have a Ninja. If you have a baby bullet or a bullet magic thing, whatever you have, you can use it. Just a regular plain old blender will work. I measured out a tablespoon. I put it in my blender cup. I'd pour my coffee in and then blend it for about 10 seconds. And what that does is it actually makes the the coconut oil blend into your coffee, and it looks like you put creamer in it. So I did that, and it created this froth on top of the coffee when I poured it in my cup that made me feel like I just went to Starbucks and bought an espresso. So I really liked drinking it that way. When I started doing 21 Day Fix, I noticed that I could only have 4 teaspoons a day. Well, if you know how to break down your measurements, you know that 3 teaspoons is 1 tablespoon. And I was wasting all of my teaspoons putting coconut oil in my coffee. So what I did was I actually cut that down even more and put 1 teaspoon in my coffee, blended it, and poured it in my cup. And that worked for me for a couple months. Then one day I decided I wanted to step down even more. My ultimate goal was to get to black coffee. And I poured a cup and I put 2 packets of stevia into my coffee. Don't use Splenda, Sweet and Low, the Walmart brand sweeteners. I don't use any of those because they have aspartame and sucralose in them, and it's actually pretty bad for your body. So I use stevia because it's all natural. I use the powdered stevia, and I would put 2 packets in my cup of coffee, and I drank it like that for a little while. Then one day I woke up, I said, you know what, I'm just going to try my coffee black. I'm not going to put anything in it. And it was weird to me to drink it. It was kind of bitter, but I did it. I drank it, and I liked it. And I learned that there are other ways. If you drink creamer for the flavor, there are other ways to flavor your coffee. You can buy extracts. They're free in the 21-day fix guide. So you can put vanilla extract in your coffee. You can put caramel extract in your coffee. You can mix stuff into it. Ground cinnamon works really well. I actually sometimes stir mine with a whole cinnamon stick, and that puts in some cinnamon flavor too. So there's different ways to flavor your coffee that don't give you all the calories, sugars, carbs, everything like that. So I wanted to share this with you guys, what I went through to work down to black coffee. It's worked for me, and now I can just drink my coffee like this. I don't have all the additives, and my body generally feels better without them. So if you guys have any questions, just shoot me a message, and I'll be talking to you guys later.